Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Scouts Tarot, where curiosity and the divine align. This is your January 2022 reading. Happy New Year to all the Pisceans out there. This is for Sun, Moon, and Rising. And as always, apologies in advance should there be any extraneous noises, such as traffic sounds, alarms, sirens, things like that. Can't be helped given where I reside. So, we are going to dive right into your reading here. And I'll be honest with you, when these three cards came up, I was like, well, okay then. There's not much to it in terms of the balance here. Normally, how I read it, it's, beginning of the month, middle of the month, and then the exit of the month going into the following month. But this to me, because a lot of your reading last month, Pisces, focused on aligning with like our inner child energies and leaving behind that which doesn't serve us and embracing the innocence of our youth. Like, what did we want to be when we were kids type thing. And in order for you to get there, you had to do some work to get there, right? That was that Six of Swords energy, and then moving towards the Two of Wands energy, which the Two of Wands being, starting a new journey. It could also represent someone coming from a journey to help you, right? To be that visiting wanderer, so to speak. And I find that whatever it was, whether it was a person coming in or you going out and meeting a person, whatever it was that allowed you to leave that which doesn't serve you and kind of relate to the inner desires of the desires of our inner child, has brought you to this moon energy, this trying to uncover the deeper side of our inner nature, right? Not just your inner child. Like, now that you know what your hopes and your dreams were when you were a kid, running amok, running wild, and all that other stuff. Because at that point in our life journey, we are close to spirit, or closest to spirit at the beginning of our life stage and at the end of it, right? And then, of course, you can grow that connection over time. But if, let's say, you didn't know work in that department, when you first land on this plane, you're still pretty close to spirit, right? So you're able to align with divine energies better, and that allows, you're reconnecting with your inner child, allows you to reconnect with the divine that we had, the connection that we had as kids. And to me, the moon card is now saying you're doing the inner work, right? The lies we may have told ourselves, the deceptions we may have fallen prey to. What were the things that kept you from continuing on your life path, right? On your spiritual path, I should say. And that the person that is in your space or that you connected to in December is giving you that space as well. They're giving you this space to process this, right? They may have asked you a question and it just like opened up like a whole box of feelings that you've never had to process. You're like, oh shit, okay, I never thought about it that way before, but you're right. I think a lot of the problems that I deal with in life is because of the abandonment issues I had when I was a child or whatever it is, right? And that kept me from being able to maintain my connection with spirit, whatever that might be. Right, just an example. Won't resonate with everyone, but yeah, it's you have the wolves here howling at the moon. This is calling attention to the work that you need to do on your intuitive side. And then we have this lobster crawling out of the water, right? Is that this represents you taking on that challenge, coming out of the emotional state it might have left you in, right? It's a lot of Cancer energy. Like the moon card is Piscean energy, but you have some Cancer in energy here too, which could represent coming out of your shell, right? And it is Cancer is a motherly card, right? It's the maternal card. It's that nurturing aspect that you may have been harboring some feelings with, it could be with regards to a mother or a maternal figure that you may have been, quick to lash out with the lobster claws there, rather than bring attention to the inner and more in-depth issues that you've had. That allowing the lobster to come out of the water allows you to face the facts with regards to your emotional state over the years. And normally the Magician card would be the energy that exists throughout the month of January, but I just feel called to the Sun card. because it's, you know, the sun, the moon, and the magician to me screams balancing out your intuitive side, right? The passion, the passion of your emotional state. Like, what drives your passions from an emotional state? And then the sun card, what drives your passions from an ambitious state, right? What intentions do you have in the world? What impact do you want to have in the world? And this to me is like, what emotional impact do you want to have in the world, right? Balancing the femininity and the masculinity. Those two sides of our inner selves here. That is just, in order for you to attain this Dumbledore status, you have to align your Hermione and your Ron, basically, right? Your emotional state, your intuitive side, the ability to understand more about your inner self in order to move forward, while understanding the passions that drive you, right? The ambition that you have in the world, the impact that you want to have in the world. What is that impact for you, right? That Two of Wands energy to me is 1 and 2, right? The journey that you've been on, the experience that you had with another person. They asked you like that one like world shifting question, and now you're like, oh shit, I am really going through some stuff here, right? You even have a set of 2s here and a set of 2s here in the moon card. Like, there's work that is happening here, Pisces. And I feel like by using the month of January to work in your emotional state, you'll be able to figure out where your passions lie ahead of you. And that could be with another person, right? It could be that the person that came into your life in December is the person that's guiding you, helping you towards the magician energy, right? That the child on the back of the horse here, this horse is guiding it, right? How is this happening? Who is behind that energy, right? Where is this horse going to? Like, what is driving these passions? And maybe you need someone to continue guiding that horse, right? Then maybe you still need the guideline, so to speak, to keep you moving in the right direction, versus getting lost in the emotional depth of your childhood and trying to deal with the issues that knocked you off your spiritual path. And one of the cards, the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm card that you got in December, was the Horse King. And I think that reverberates here just one more time, that the horse is a noble, loyal energy, that the person that has come into your life is someone who I think you've been able to rely on in the past to help you along. It could be, you know, someone from like your past, like from childhood, again, with that sun energy, the childlike energy, that it may be someone who knew you before you veered so fiercely off your path. By combining these energies, it will guide you towards the magician energy here. That the magician not only knows which tools to use, but it knows which tools not to use, right? They're able to like, okay, so I need my wand for this, but I need the cup for that. And at this point, the pentacle, don't really need that right now. We're going to put that on the back burner. We'll see when we need it. The sword, you know what? That's just in case. Like, you start to learn when to communicate, when to express yourself emotionally, when to lead by your passion, to express yourself when you're angry or when you're sad, and when to invest in the future, right? When to take the time to be like, okay, this is when we need to you know, move here or do that, take this job. Like, in order for you to manifest your dreams, the passions of your childhood that aligns with your spiritual path that you are trying to get back onto, you will need to have faith in your skills, right? You'll need to rely on the training that you've done thus far. And that training is the work that you've done with the moon and the sun card here. And I do advise that, you know, suggest, recommend, whatever, that you look at your December read as well as the October reading, because I know I turn to those in my previous reads for you, Pisces, and I think by pulling all three of these together, you may be able to see the journey that you've been on, you know, individually here. Because again, this is a general reading. It won't resonate with everyone, so there may be parts and aspects that really connect for you and others that don't. So that's why I recommend looking at the two other videos in addition to this one, just to, you know, find what most resonates with you and to give you that additional insight as you're making as you're making this spiritual journey. I think you and Aquarius both have some of the deepest spiritual, journeys that are happening right now. I think maybe Leo is on another one. But yeah, also check the all big three, sun, moon, and rising to see if this resonates, to see what else resonates. All right, so we're going to use the Oracle of the Seven Energies deck to get some clarity around this moon card energy. All right, so I'm in my magic spiritually. Okay. Thank you, Celestial Divine. So we have Divine Matrix. Ooh, 44. I think you had fours in your last reading as well. 44, the Divine Matrix, which I still need to see the new iteration of the Matrix, just sharing. Do you ever wonder how synchronicities have come together? These meaningful coincidences move life forward in ways we might not understand at the time. We can get trapped in the idea that the world is a place of separate parts with space between, because the true quantum spiritual nature of reality can be confusing. Imagine that everything possible under the sun is waiting to be claimed. You are not separate from what you desire to manifest. Oh my God. Yeah, this sits right at the top, y'all. Let's move that over here. So hopefully it's still in the shot. Everything is intrinsically connected within a vast living web of life, a divine matrix. Even that which you have not yet observed as part of your life experience is still connected to you. It remains dormant until you choose it, right? The moon card can represent that which remains hidden, right? Or sleeping, something that is dormant. In order for you to awaken the connection that you have with spirit, to align with your destiny, to manifest your dreams here, Pisces, you got to wake that up. You got to crawl out the water, but come out of your shell, so to speak, and acknowledge all aspects of yourself. So as you're doing that work, more of your destiny can be manifested in your reality. Life operates on life's terms as well. You don't live in a vacuum, so you are surrounded by a multitude of realities that were brought to life by others. These can surely affect you if you allow them to. But as your thread, your luminous life force, your courageous dream is part of the tapestry of life, you're being invited to be conscious of the pattern you are weaving. Isn't it amazing to know you have so much power inherent in you just by being alive? You will see evidence of the truth of this divine matrix today. It is in you. What you do matters. All manner of miracles are waiting for you to lay claim to them. You ready? You ready to claim this, Pisces? This divine matrix is more. I said in somebody's reading that you don't want to miss the forest for the trees, right? That the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, or some, I always screw that one up, but whatever it is. In order for you to truly manifest through the power of the magician, you need to recognize the power of the parts of the sun and the moon in your life by balancing the feminine and the masculine. And you realize that, there's no such thing as coincidence, right? That as you're going through your life journey, that you really can bring to fruition that which you want to manifest, right? You are able to take on this Neo energy, right? You can be the chosen one in your own life. Everybody has the power to do that. But when you let the reality of this, societal living creep in and halt you, right? When we disconnect from our spiritual journey as children, generally it's because we do the one thing Peter Pan didn't want to do, which was grow up, right? He wanted to always be a boy and have fun. Can't hate him for it, right? Because he understood, if you look at it from J.M. Barrie's perspective, if I'm not mistaken, that growing up means letting go of the connections that you have with divine spirit. Okay, let me straighten this up a little bit. And by reconnecting with our emotional state and allowing that the inner the childlike dream that we had, right? That Peter Pan energy of always wanting to play and have fun, that you're able to bear witness to this divine matrix and manifest that which is your true purpose in your destiny in life. Turn your dreams into reality here. You can go off to Never Never Land and not have to give up the reality in which you live in. You can have both. You can have both. So we're going to turn to the wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck to get some clarity, okay, around the Sun card. Can we get one card, please? I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. Can we get one card for dear sweet Pisces for the Sun card, Celestial Divine? We're looking for one card, please. One card, por favor. Uno. Maybe dos. Let's see. Un is appreciate. Ooh, wow. Okay, that almost at 17. This yeah, this is powerful stuff, Pisces. And for this, you know, the Moon card to be representative of the Pisces, of your energy, the Sun card to be that of Leo, and the Magician to be that of I think it's Aries is the Magician. Somewhere in there. It is about it's the emotional, you know, state, but also the emotional cycle that we go through, the life cycle. You know, Pisces being the end of the zodiac is representative of like reincarnation and rebirth, right? Of coming out of the waters of life, ready to embrace what's next for us. And then the Sun card being the Leo card of standing on stage and being ready to embrace the world around us, the reality in which we live. And then the Magician card being, again, that Aries energy of fire and birth and inspiration and ambition, just pushing out, right? Just pushing through the veil to come to fruition. And that's why it's that manifestation energy. So what advice do we have with the Sun card energy? What card should Pisces rely on as they try to balance out and align with the Sun energy? This higher, this true purpose, aligning with the Sun. Can we get one card, please? One card, por favor. I only take flippers or flyers, slammers. What else can we call these guys? Ooh, the Metal King. Ooh, we had the Horse King last time. Now we have the Metal King. Very interesting. Number 37. And I have the right book this time. No more mistakes. All right, 36. No, 38. All right, the Metal King, Pisces. Here we go. The Metal King is strong and arrives to lend you his impenetrable shield of protection. No matter who sends you criticism or jealousy, you will not be hurt. This ally also prompts you to think about setting healthy boundaries. When you do, no matter how uncomfortable that task may be, everyone will benefit. He asks you to make sure you know where you end and another begins. Very interesting. So that Two of Wands energy from last month was about that journey, right? But it could also be about somebody coming into your life to help guide you. It is helpful and it is good to have somebody there who can guide you, but make sure that this is your journey that you're on and not one that they want you to be on, right? If that journey doesn't align with what they want from you, you have to, be firm and like, I appreciate your help in guiding me along this far, but this is my direction here. I hope you can recognize that and we can continue forward. Back to the book. Others' emotions are not yours, no matter how empathetic you may be. Another of the Metal King's messages is to remind you how important it is to have a healthy sense of self-esteem. It's a good time to shine and be proud of what you have accomplished. Yeah, 100% Pisces. I feel like that's Six of Swords energy from the beginning of December was a lot about leaving behind that which doesn't serve you. And now you're finally at a place where you're like, okay, all right, I now recognize what doesn't serve me. I know what has challenged me before. And you're recognizing the triggers, perhaps, the things that set you back, especially with you doing this work of the moon energy now in the month of January. That as you're doing that work, the Metal King would be like, but remember, that's a boundary, that's a trigger, that's something that doesn't serve you. Like, it's putting up the shield to be like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Okay, that one's acceptable. We'll let that in. And you may need to be firm with the people around you if they're not necessarily recognizing the healthy boundaries that you're trying to put up. And it's all part of the journey, right? That Six of Swords energy down to the Two of Wands energy coming into 2022. It is about work. It is about journeying. It's committing to change. It's committing to something new, leaving something behind. And you're now in a place emotionally and spiritually where you're trying to work through that, right? Like, this doesn't, to me, I haven't picked up work. I haven't really picked up romantic relationships. To me, this is all spiritual. This is all you trying to operate on the bigger scale here, Pisces. That you're like, look, if I really want to find my place in the sun, so to speak, I have to recognize my relationship with the moon. And once I do that, I can finally pick up my wand and do what it is that I need to do in order to align with my destiny, my higher purpose in life, right? All right, so we're going to get some advice from the Super Attractor deck with the Magician energy. And it doesn't feel like this is something that can be accomplished in 1 month, but I do feel like these are going to be back and forth, right? That when you like, oh, you know what? I really enjoy writing, and I can't remember why I stopped, but I'm rediscovering that now, like through journaling, right? So you take up journaling because that was some advice that you learned or gained on your Two of Wands experience at the end of December. You're like, okay, well, let me try a little journaling. So you do, and you're like, wow, this is dope as shit. And you're now thinking about, like, why didn't I do this as a kid or whatever? And you're like, wait, I think I did do this as a kid and I stopped because, I don't know, someone read it and I was embarrassed. And I realized I'm now realizing how healthy of a therapy that was for me. I need to maintain this because blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's checked. That's part of you aligning these two sides of yourself, right? You're creating healthy barriers and boundaries for yourself. Like, you're not gonna, trauma dump on a friend, right? Or let all your emotions get the better of you when you're out driving and you're driving recklessly, or you're drinking and, stuff like that. Like, you're not gonna allow the emotional, aspects of your inner self get the better of you. You're gonna process it in a way that is healthy. And as you're doing that, you're aligning with the divine matrix, right? That, yeah, there are things you can't control, and there are people in your life that might trip you up. Everything happens for a reason. It's part of your life journey. And the more you realize that you have the power to change your life, you're going to get closer and closer to that magician status. All right, so let's get our one Super Attractor card, please. I'm in my power, I'm in my magic, spiritually aligned. What advice do we have? Super Attractor cards for Dear Sweet Pisces, Celestial Divine. We are looking for one card, please. Can we get the card? Let's see. Yeah, this is big, broad stuff. I feel like this has been going on for a while, but I feel like for you, Pisces, you're finally making progress here. Like, this has been something that's been bothering you. You're like, yeah, I should probably figure out where that emotion's coming from. Or why I'm so okay spending this amount of money on this, or not bothering to do that even though I know it's good for me. Like, you're finally at a place where it's like, oh yeah, no, I really actually do need to sit down and figure out where that's coming from. I need to take responsibility for my emotions and how I treat people and stuff. And I need to take responsibility for the work that I do, because as much as I don't care what happens to other people, I now understand why I don't care. And now I need to figure out what I should be doing to make my world a better place and to find my place in it. I don't know. So I closed my eyes and that's what came through. I hope that resonated. Maybe. I don't know. But let's see if we can get one card here. My shuffling, okay, can be a little funky, but a card always appears, Pisces. So here we go. As soon as I choose to see the light in the dark corners, I redirect my power towards what I want. Okay, somebody else definitely got this card. It might have been Sagittarius. You may want to, again, check your big threes, make sure it's all covered. But yeah, 100%. Wow, okay, so the... I don't know if you're Harry Potter fans, but here you go. I got Expecto Patronum here, right? That you are now at a state where you can not just bring light to the darker corners, but illuminate that which you've tried to keep hidden, right? That the moon does illuminate some of the darkness, but it doesn't illuminate everything, right? There's still shadow when there's a full moon. You are now in a position where you can go into those dark corners and you can be like, oh no, I know what that is, right? Yeah, here's my wand right here. And be like, okay, that corner right there, that part of myself, that particular memory that is I have tried to ignore, tried to bury, I need to process that, right? I need to figure out a way to deal with it. Therapy, journaling, whatever it is that you need to process that experience, Pisces, you commit to that. And as you're doing that work, you're now able to redirect whatever energy, that memory, that dark corner of your inner self was harboring, and put it towards what matters, towards the sun, right? Allow your ambition to grow. And that allows you to embody more and more of this magician energy. And the more power that you give to this, the more divinity you will experience in everyday life. Yes, 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 yes. This is an all out of order, but I guess that's the point, right? This is a very circuitous journey for you, right? This is a spiraling, and it's a spiral up for you, Pisces, that you're doing the work, you're processing what must be processed, and you're letting go which doesn't serve you, and you're moving closer and closer to your higher self. Just absolutely beautiful. So I hope that does resonate. This also concludes your January 2022 reading, Pisces. Again, sun, moon, and rising signs. I hope that this helps. That this does leave you with I don't know, a working plan for the future. Yeah. But all right, I shall. Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. I shall see you all in February.